So I got this Nako yarn from Yarnlicious Ghana some few days ago, and I decided to make this cute top you just saw. So if you're interested, keep watching. So the Nako yarn I'm using is 100 grams worth for each one, and you just need 1.5 for this project if you are doing a size small to medium, but it's advisable for you to get 2. So I'll be using a 3.0mm hook and a pair of scissors. So the very first thing we are going to concentrate is the neck warmer, and it's going to be detailed. So the very first step you have to do is to make a slip knot. Insert your hook into the space created for the slip knot and chain a total of 40. This total you are going to chain can never be changed, can never be adjusted. It includes the height of the neck warmer you saw from the intro of the video. So I chained 40 for mine. So after chaining 40, you are going to insert your hook into the second space and single crochet. So to single crochet, insert your hook, pull the yarn through the chain. When you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, insert your hook, pull through. When you have 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through. So you are going to place a single crochet in all the chain spaces. 1, make sure your chain is straight so that it makes it's easier for you to insert your hook inside the space to create your single crochet stitch. And if you are able to do this, you should be fine with this stitch. So as you can see, I'm almost at the end of my height. I was supposed to have a total of 39 single crochets because one chain is a 10 over chain, and I'm almost done with my row of single crochet. So there's the last single crochet, and you should take notes that these rows are normally single crochet rows. They are single crochet rows throughout. So for the next row, you chain 1, and this time we are going to target the back loops. Okay, so the back loops, we have the front loop and we have the back loops for this. So just turn your project like how I'm doing, and I'm trying to show you the front loops and the back loops. The back loops are under you. There's normally 2 loops for each single crochet or any stitch you create. So you are going to put a single crochet in the back loops. So if you target your back loop, insert your hook. When you have 2 on your hook, you yarn over, pull through 2. Again, in the next stitch, target your back loops and insert your hook, pull through. My daughter is distracting me right now. So insert your hook, pull through the loop. When you have 2 on the hook, you yarn over, pull through. So as you can see, I'm going only on the back loops for this project. That is how you get a stretchy effect for this project. So you are doing this to get your stretchy turtleneck so that you can accommodate and you can get this ribbed feature. So we normally call it the ribbed feature, or you can decide to call it however. It's called back loops single crochet. Okay, so you are going to do back loop single crochet or on the back loops till you get to the end of the row, and you must have a total of 39 if you chained 40 and your chain is your height for your turtleneck. So I'm almost done with my row. I went along with single crochet, back loop single crochet, and as I told you, you have to count in your head so that you have the same number and you don't get it slanted. You know, some people end up having their turtleneck slanted. So the repetition of row 2, we are going to repeat row 2 till you get to the coverage of your neck. Okay, I'm going to tell you the number of rows I ended up doing for mine, but it depends on the coverage. I did about 102 rows for mine. It depends on the coverage you want for your, and it depends on how big your neck is. You see, some people have thick neckline, and you just have to measure around your neckline and go with the number of rows you need, because we all have several body preferences. But the good news is that it stretches, okay, so it can accommodate for most sizes. So as you can see, I'm going on with my back loops. I had to do some behind the scenes because it's actually repetition. Okay, I hope this is helpful. Okay, so what you are going to do next is the full body, the front portion of the project. Okay, the front portion also contains of back loop single crochet. So first of all, make your slip knot. as we did for the neck one, and then we are going to chain a total of 36. This is because I wanted mine very cropped, and you can go ahead and chain the number you prefer. Okay, it won't affect this project. It's just the height of the top, and we are working on the front portion, and that's all. So after chaining, and make sure you chain a number enough for your coverage. After chaining 36, I went into the second space and I'm going to single crochet. So it's the same process as what I just taught you for the neck warmer. All you have to do is insert your hook, pull through. When you have 2 on the hook, pull through 2 loops, just regular single crochet in all the chain spaces till you get to the end of the row. Okay, you must have a total of 35 single crochets if you chain a total of 36, because the chain one, the extra chain one, is a turning chain, and as I told you, don't restrict yourself. Okay, so after that you are going to turn your work, as you can see, and you are going to chain a total of 1. Okay, the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. You are going to do a decrease. Okay, insert your hook into the same space and in the space after. Okay, and then you yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That is how to decrease, single crochet decrease. Okay, so after you do your very first decrease, you are going to target your back loops, and remember that the decrease was also in the back loops. Okay, so everything you are doing is back loops single crochet. So after you decrease, you are going to do your regular single crochet in the back loops till you get to the end of the row. Nothing difficult here. Just make sure that you are going in your back loops to maintain the stretchy effect, just like what we did for the neck warmer. So make sure you are putting your single crochets in the back loops all the way down, and I'll meet you when I'm done with my row. So I'm done with my row 2, and for the next row you just chain 1, turn over your work, still going in the back loops in the same stitch. Put your very first back loop single crochet, and then go along with your back loop single crochet in each chain, each stitch. So getting to the end, you are going to do a decrease. Okay, so insert your hook, pull through. When you have 2 on the hook, insert into the next, which is the last stitch, pull through. When you have 3 on the hook, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so make sure you stop at the last but 2 stitch, and then you do your decrease. Okay, so after that you chain up 1 and turn over your work. Okay, so to turn over your work, you are going to do another decrease. Insert your hook in the next space, in the same space, and in the space after. When you have 3 on the hook, pull through 3, all 3 loops, like how we did. Okay, so we are trying to get this V's next feature, and we are not going to apply the decrease at the end of the rows because we need a straight feature for the croppy. So we are working probably on our V-neck feature. Okay, so we are going to do this for 7 extra rows, I'm sorry, in addition to this, after you complete this row. So as you can see, I went ahead to do 7 extra rows. So in total, I have a total of 10 rows of decrease on that particular part to get a V-neck feature. Okay, so after you do that, you chain up a total of 1 and go under the back loops. Okay, no decrease, just go under back loops, on the back loops, and do your back loop single crochet till you get to the end of the row. Okay, so the very first section was the decrease at that portion. Okay, to get a V-neck feature. The next is the single crochet, the regular row. After you do your total of extra 7, after the 3, you can go ahead and do your regular row, and make sure you are going under the back loops. So we are going to do an extra 2 rows to extend the regular row, and I'll meet you when I'm done. So I did an extra 2 rows when I completed this row, and this is how it's going to be. Okay, and we are going to do another row of decrease. Okay, so to begin, you chain 1 okay, insert your hook into the very same back loop and insert your hook again into the following, and you have 3 loops on the hook. You pull through all 3 loops, okay. In the back loops, always take notes, okay. So after you complete this row, this only row of decrease, you are going to do extra rows, okay, to provide more coverage. And I did a total of 3 extra in addition, okay. So you are going to extend the coverage, okay. So I'll meet you when I'm done. So I'm done adding extra 3 rows after my row of decrease, okay. And that is how this project is going to look, okay. So with this row, this is the 3rd row after the row of decrease, okay. I'm going to increase, okay. So this is my last but 1 stitch. So insert your hook, perform your single crochet, and this is going to be the last stitch, okay. This time I'm going to put 2 single crochets. So I've done my first one, and in the same space I'm going to add an extra single crochet, okay. So that's your first decrease, increase, okay. So chain 1, and this time we are going to do back loop, single crochets, no increase, okay, regular single crochets till you get to the end of the row. So target your back loops, okay. This is how we are going about it. Whatever you did, we are doing this exact opposite for this portion, okay. Whatever you did for the decrease, you are doing the exact same thing, okay. So I'm going to complete my row of back loop single crochets, and I'm going to add an extra 2 regular rows, and I'll show you what to do. So I completed my back loop single crochet regular one, and I added extra 2 as I told you, and you can see that my portion is building. So I'm going to begin the next row. I ended up on this side, okay. So you are just going to chain 1, do your back loop single crochets as usual. There's no increase or decrease at the very first at this portion. You just go under your back loops and do your single crochets till you get to where the V-neck is. As I told you, you are doing directly opposite of what you have been doing so far, okay, of the decrease, okay. So just go along with your back loops, and I'll show you how to do your next row of increase. So yes, I single crocheted all along, and I'm getting to the end where I'm about to increase. So as I told you, make sure you are going under the back loops, and this is going to be the last single crochet. This time we are going to do 2 in the same exact space. Yes, it's normally tied to figure out, but make sure you do 2 to make sure that you increase, okay. So after that, you turn your work, and then you chain 1, okay. Chain 1 and go under the back loops. So put 2 single crochets in that same back loop, okay. So you are increasing again when you are turning over your work. So when you put your 2 single crochet, you are going to go along with your regular single crochet in the back loops till you get to the end of the row, okay. So this one is very easy, okay. What we did for the same decreasing, you realize that we decreased for a total of 10 rows. After I showed you the very first 3 for the V-neck feature, we did a total of 10 rows of decrease. This time I'm going to do a total of 10 rows for increase, okay. Just like what we did, is the direct opposite. So this is the second increase I'm doing, okay. So I'm going to do a total of 8 more, and you can just fold your work and work along, okay. You realize that you are going to have the same feature, as you can see, okay. You're going to have the same feature or height, so that the V-neck becomes accurate, and that's the effect you need for this crop top. So I'm going to increase, after I end this row, I'm going to increase for a total of 8 on that side, the V-neck side. So I'll meet you when I'm done. So I'm done, okay. I'm done with my increase. As you can see, okay, I added a total of 8 more, okay. But when you fold it into 2, you realize that it's left with 1 extra row to complete, and that row is going to be a regular row. As you can see, when we made a chain, we did 1 regular row before we started decreasing for the other side, okay. So to do the regular row, you are just going to chain 1, insert in the back loops as usual. Just go along with the flow and do your regular back loop row. So yes, I'll show you when I'm done. So I'm finally done with my front portion, okay. And this is the neckline. If you are sorry, this is the turtleneck warmer. If you are already confused, okay, we are going to join, okay. But first, we are going to fold it. We are going to fold some portion which will cover your neck, okay. So that's how to do it. You can use a darning needle to join the neckline, okay. So that point you can see I'm fixing my darning needle and I'm going to join. So I already joined, and I'm going to do the same exact thing for this side. Okay, you don't actually need a darning needle. You can also use your hook for the joining. So I completely joined with my hook, and this is how it came out. Okay, make sure it's joined firmly. So after it's joined firmly, you are now going to join the back of the turtleneck, or you can use a bottom. Okay, it depends on what you want. Okay, so now you are going to work on the joining of the turtleneck. Okay, I ended up not joining because I preferred it that way. Okay, because I'm going to unravel and maybe probably do a project next time. So now it's now time for you to work on the back portion. So to work on the back portion, you're going to attach at this side. Okay, not the neckline, please. You are going to attach at the bottom, like how you can see it, and you make sure that you are going to do back loop single crochets. Okay, so insert your hook and go along with your back loop single crochet, making sure that the yarn, that the excess yarns are under as you perform your back loop single crochet. It's normally tight because you actually, this is where we made our basic chain. Okay, so it's very difficult, but if you are able to insert your hook, you should be fine and do your back loop single crochet till you get to the last but 2 stitch for the neckline. Okay, I'll meet you there. So I did my back loop single crochet and I stopped last but 2 before where we joined. Okay, so make sure you stop last but 2 before where you join, and it's appropriate for you to put a stitch marker there so that you don't go ahead to make a mistake. So as usual, stop at the last but 2. Okay, I'm going to finish off my regular back loop single crochet. Okay, so after I finish off my regular back loop single crochet, let me finish my last one. I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop, which is the last but 1. When I have 2 loops on the hook, insert into the last stitch. Okay, and then pull through all. So you yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, just like the regular decrease I taught you. So after that, you're going to turn over your work, chain 1 to begin the next row, insert your hook into the same stitch for the back loop. Okay, it's very difficult. Okay, so the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Okay, so insert your hook into the same stitch, and then in the stitch after, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So you just did your decrease again for the next row, and now you are going to go along with your regular back loop single crochet till you get to the end of the row. We are decreasing to get this armhole effect for the sleeveless turtleneck cropped cutout top. Okay, so you are going to add up an extra 7 of decrease only on that side, just like what we did for the neckline. Okay, so after you complete this row, we are going to do a total of 6. So in total, it should be 8 rows of decrease. Okay, so I'll meet you when I'm done. So I did my extra 6 more rows of decrease, and I went back to complete my row. Okay, so this is going to be the last row of decrease. So when we are done with this, you should have a total of 8 from the beginning of decrease. Okay, we need this effect for the armhole. So let's begin a fresh row. Okay, so these rows are going to be regular rows to cover the back portion, and it makes it easier for the top. Okay, so we are going to do several rows. I'll tell you the number of rows. I'll be putting it somewhere down there. And we are going to attach and do the same decrease to the other side, the opposite side. Okay, in total, as I told you, we are going to do a total of 8 decrease from even the first row. Okay, so I would show you the number of rows as I told you, and then you fold and attach at the back. Okay, I don't want to use straps for my project, so it's optional for you. You can use straps or you can use a zipper or anything, how you prefer, but I'll be slip stitching to join after I do my regular rows of extension for the back. Okay, so it's going to cover half of the back portion. So after chaining 1, I'm going to do my back loop single crochets all the way, nothing new, and I'm going to extend as I told you and do extra rows for the coverage. So this is how the project is looking. Okay, I extended the coverage and I decreased and did the same exact thing. Okay, for the other portion, you decrease 8 and then you go along with your regular rows and it depends on your size. Okay, I'll give you extra information. Luckily for you, I know you guys love using worsted weight and medium weight, so it will be much more cool for you. Okay, whether you're using Red Hat or any other brand ice yarns, it will be cool for you. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch to join. I've not joined my turtleneck, but this is how we fold it, as you can see. And then you just join these sides. Okay, you don't join the other one on the down portion. I hope you get it. You just join the upper portion so that it becomes more easier, okay, and more flexible. So I'm going to insert my hook and pull through to slip stitch to join. Okay, I have a method of joining, okay, but I'm just going to do back loop single crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop of the very first portion, and then the back loop of the other portion, and then I just pull the yarn through both two loops. And when I have two loops, I yarn over and pull through all two loops. Okay, so I'm just going to single crochet in the back loops. It makes it more flexible and much more seamless rather than using slip stitch. It makes it a little bit rigid and obvious that you have joined. So that's how I do my joining. There are several techniques I also use as well. So if you are a regular watcher, you might know the other techniques because I try to be versatile in my joining. I'm not a fan of using darning needles. I feel like this is much more simple. But if you want to use a darning needle, it's your preference, and you just have to go with what you feel like it's more comfortable for you. So I'm almost done joining my project. Okay, I'm taking both loops, as you can see, and taking the other back loop, and I'm just regularly doing a single crochet. Make sure this is the inside of the project. Okay, so that you don't leave the seam and you are supposed to weave in all the excess yarns with your darning needle when you are done. So yes, when you're done, as you can see, this is how it's going to look. You are just going to turn your work so that the seam comes in hidden. So I'm just going to cut off with my excess yarns, weave in with my darning needle later, and then we are going to join the turtleneck, which eventually I didn't join. Okay, I also added some borders for the neckline. They are just slip stitch borders, and my clip just got deleted when I was editing. I just realized, but I think it's cool like this. You can add any edging. You can just single crochet 2 times at the edges to make it more neater, or you can just do a slip stitch border and just the horizontal slip stitch. And as you can see, this is where you are supposed to join. Okay, like how I'm doing. I'm not supposed to join the inner one, the one I'm holding. Just make sure you join only that section, okay, inside. Okay, or you can just use buttons or any other thing, or you can just use straps and do a zigzag thing. You just create holes for your neckline. Okay, so that's how I'm going to join. Okay, so yes, to join, you are just going to insert your hook in the back loops just like that, and in the other side, and then you just do your single crochet to join. Okay, so I'll meet you when I'm done. So I'm going to work on the lace feature you saw. I added some lace feature for the bottom, okay, to make it neat. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the middle of the project. Sorry, I'm going to single crochet into the middle of the project, chain 2, and double crochet 2 consecutive times. Okay, so double crochet into the next stitch and into the following. The chain 2 counts as a stitch, so in total you have 3. After that, you chain a total of 3, skip 3 spaces wherever however you find, whether it's a space or not, just make sure you leave some space. And then you go along with 3 consecutive double crochets, as you can see, and this is going to be the repetition for the border of the lace detail you saw from the thumbnail. So I'm going to repeat this till I get to all around the work. Okay, we are done joining, so that's how the process is going to be. Just make sure you do this all around. Just chain 3 and skip 3 spaces and perform your 3 consecutive double crochet. It's normally difficult for you to see the spaces because you are working on the border, but I'll meet you when I'm done with this. So I'm done with my whole repetition. Okay, so what you have to do is to chain 3. When you are in this section, you just chain 3 and slip stitch to join the very first chain 2 you made from the beginning of the row. It's very sometimes difficult to get to slip stitch, but you can manage your way through. So after that, we are going to move directly into the space. Okay, so yarn over and perform a double crochet in that space and add an extra one. So 2 double crochets, chain 2 again, and put another 2 double crochets in the same exact space. This is the shell design and it's very popular in crocheting. So after that, you chain a total of 2, single crochet into the next space, chain a total of 2 again, and in the following space do a total of 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets in the same exact space. So that's how the process is going to be: 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets in the same exact space, chain a total of 2. This time you do your single crochet in chain 2, single crochet in the following space, chain 2, and do your shell design in the following. So that's how the repetition is going to be. I really love using these shell designs at my edges of the work. It's kind of like a signature design that I love to use. Okay, so you can just go ahead not to, and because it was very cropped, I decided to add that detail to make him look extra attractive. So I'll meet you when I'm done. So yes, this is my repetition all around. I am going to end with a chain. So I'm going to chain up a total of 2. Okay, single crochet into the following space, and then you chain 2 again and slip stitch into the very first double crochet you made for that shell. Okay, it's optional how you end, and it depends on how you end. Okay, you have to improvise. So the repetition of the rest of the rows is going to be the same shell design, the same thing we just did for the row 2 of this lace. So always single crochet in the very first space, and then go inside the chain 2 you made, separating the 2 double crochets. We are going to do a total of 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets again in that same exact space, and it's really important. So that's how the process is going to be: 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets in the same exact space, and then you go ahead. After that, you are going to chain a total of 2. Okay, chain a total of 2, single crochet on top of the previous single crochet, chain 2, and continue with your design. So you must do this all around the 2 double crochets, chain 2 in the chain 2 space from the previous row. After that, you chain 2, single crochet on the single crochet from the previous row, and that's how this design goes. So I'll meet you when you are done with this, and then we can probably show our finished projects, and we are almost done. Okay, so you must be happy. So guys, this is the finished project. This is how it's supposed to look after you are done with the project. I added some borders in the neckline because the cutout was a little bit extreme, and the borders give a little coverage. Okay, it's just slip stitch borders, and then you just go back and forth, okay, to get that detailed. But as I told you, you can do 2 single crochet borders for the neckline. It makes it much cleaner, or you can leave it raw, okay, because back loop single crochets are so dope. Okay, so if you love my contents, please follow me on Instagram as well, and so that you can see the pictures that I took with this beautiful piece. And please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, share to others. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye and stay safe.